As an Etsy business coach, I am often asked, what would you do if you were starting a new Etsy shop? Right now, I have a few hundred active students in my program, and I am constantly asked this question. So today, I'm going to answer it. I've been on Etsy since 2016, and I've sold over $1 million in profit on the platform. And I've really learned a lot through both time and volume of experience. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do if I was starting a new Etsy shop today with the goal of hitting $1 million in profit much faster than I actually did. I'm going to show you the process of identifying who to sell to, what to sell, and how I would sell things to scale as fast as possible. And then I'm going to directly apply this process to a pretend future shop. And I'm going to give you the step-by-step to do that. So let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan Jaris, and I am an Etsy shop owner of about 7 years. I've sold over $1.4 million in revenue on the platform, over $1 million in profit, and my entire background is in corporate e-commerce. I also sell on Amazon and Shopify. So I have hired out almost all production for my Etsy shop, and now I am an Etsy business coach where I work with hundreds of students and teach them my process of building a multi-six-figure shop. About half of my students are launching shop from zero, and the other half have existing shops. Some of them have done as many as 70,000 sales on Etsy or as much as $1.2 million in annual revenue. So today I'm pulling from my experience working in corporate e-commerce at Zappos and Zulily, as well as my experience on Etsy, Amazon, and Shopify to tell you exactly what I would do to get to that $1 million in profit on Etsy when starting from zero. So step one is who to sell to. This is the biggest mistake that I see new sellers making. They are so focused on what to sell instead of who to sell to. We're not starting with trend research, and we're choosing a customer, not a niche. There's so much advice out there telling you to choose a niche down. A niche is not enough. We need to choose customers to sell to. This is the number one thing that will set up your shop for success from day one. The customers you choose is really what sets you up to do multi-six figures every year and to grow with consistency even during economic downturns or when other Etsy shops might be hurting. So this is the very first thing we do in my program. We choose our customers. So we want people with high discretionary income, secure, stable jobs. Maybe they're dual income, maybe not. We want people who value time more than money. And we also want people who are involved in expensive hobbies and activities. And we look at every area of their life that they are spending money on. So why are we choosing customers? As Alex Hormozi says, rich people pay better. So some people might be thinking, well, why don't we just pick a niche? Everyone on YouTube is talking about niches, picking a niche. But a niche does not guarantee that there are profitable customers behind that niche, and a niche does also not guarantee stability. So let's, for example, take the pet or dog owner niche. Selling items for pets does not guarantee that your sales will be strong and steady because there is such a range of pet owners. Some are very profitable and some are not at all. Let's think about dog food. Some people go to Walmart and they buy the cheapest dog food on the shelf. Whatever's on sale, they're not brand loyal. They will just buy whatever the cheapest option is. Whereas other pet owners are getting their dog food delivered to their house. Maybe it's fresh ground beef or fresh dog food, and they're getting this delivered every week. So these are wildly different types of customers within that dog food niche. So I would much rather know who is supporting my paycheck versus picking products that are in a tight theme or a niche and hoping that people like them. So step one, we're choosing our customers. If you need help with this, definitely reach out. Now let's choose what to sell. So whether it's digital, print on demand, the handmade or altered category, supplies or vintage, this is really going to determine how we spend our time when we're working on our business. And this will also help us decide which path is going to most effectively help us hit our goals and in the time frame that we're looking for. So for me, I'm a super impatient person. My goal would be hitting $1 million in profit as quickly as possible. I don't want it to take 20 years. Then it's really not worth my time. So for me, if I was starting starting over, I would choose a handmade or altered item, and I would do something that could be easily outsourced with the production and fulfillment, whether it be a production partner that comes on site to do that, or whether I hire it out to even a different geographic area. This item would have a couple options, either the standard option or a customized option. I would also integrate supplies into this business in order to help keep a healthy sell-through and generate cash flow with the current supplies that I'm using to make those finished handmade or altered items. By selling supplies, I would also benefit from greater economies of scale when I'm doing bulk purchasing. So I would start with literally one product and go from there. I'm not building out an entire product mix. If I had the skills or the tools to do this, I would do it myself, at least through that sprinting phase of my business in order to stay lean, and it will also allow me to have more flexibility in my margin. And having flexibility in your margin will really help accelerate the momentum as you are getting traction with that item. So that is the category I would sell. And now let's look at what product I would sell. I would research this customer and I would look at what they're already coming to Etsy for. I wouldn't be trying to convince them to buy something that they're not interested in. I have some very scrappy ways to do this that I teach you in my program, Multi-Six-Figure Etsy Blueprint, but we are looking at the purchasing behavior of these premium customers. So we are not trying to swim upstream here. We're really going with the path of least resistance and using my 10-step opportunity checklist to find those holes in the market when we're looking at Etsy search results. So we're looking at that combination of price, of the listing photo, of the value or the content of that listing. And we're looking for where there are gaps for us to come in and do better than the current bestsellers. And we're also going to use the free version of eRank to see where the overall search volume versus the competition would stack up in our favor. But note, we're not looking at best-selling products on Everbee or Sales Samurai and trying to mimic those and copy those and just tweaking something about them. That is not the way we're building a multi-six-figure business. That would be a very product-focused way to build a business, and we are taking a very customer-centric approach. So we've gone through the process of who we're selling to, what we're selling. Now let's talk about how to sell and how to scale. So I would launch my very first listing as soon as I have it ready. I'd start my marketing and my sprinting strategies to get sales right away. Over that first month, I would build out one full page of listings, and I would be willing to break even on my first 10 orders per listing, because remember, my goal is to build power listings here, which are really designed to do at least $20,000 in their lifetime and to become market leaders. During this time, I would also implement the Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram strategies 20 minutes a day, starting on day one. Really, until I have made at least several thousand sales, I would be focused on this 100%. I would be making those short-term sacrifices, no TV, letting the house be a little chaotic, delaying that gratification, and really implementing those short-term sacrifices. So after my first $50,000 or so, I would look at bringing on production partners, and I would start to train them in on the process. Now, depending on my living situation, I would look at potentially bringing them in-house, or I would consider finding someone local to do it from their home and probably paying them by the piece instead of per hour, and that's if they're not working from my home. I would start this production partner with just doing production and not the actual fulfillment or shipping. I would hold on to that piece for a little bit longer just to make sure that the quality and everything is up to par. And likely after 6 months to a year, I would move all of fulfillment over to them as well, so they would be shipping for me. So at that point, once I'm fully out of the production and fulfillment pieces, I would start to pull levers to scale. Scaling a business is really all about pulling levers. This is what I call the marathon phase of your business. So we are pulling levers like fixed costs, variable costs, personnel, elements of a product, pricing strategy, and marketing strategy. And part of that scaling would also be moving this on to Amazon Handmade or Shopify. Now for Amazon Handmade, I would only do my customized products because I do not want to deal with Amazon returns. So let's pretend we are actually creating a shop here. So who would I target? If I was starting over, I would target career-oriented moms. So these moms are part of a dual income family. They're in their 30s to 40s. They're super busy and they are very focused on building their career. Maybe they're climbing the corporate ladder, or maybe they're self-employed. They really value their time more than money. Time is their most scarce resource, and they're willing to pay for things that save them time or help them make money. So they're paying for nannies. When they take a vacation, they go all out. It's a premium expensive vacation. This is the Four Seasons type of vacation. I would do my market research on this person, both on Etsy and on Instagram. This person already comes to Etsy for personalized things for her kids and personalized wedding gifts. So she really sees Etsy as that personalization space. If you need help doing that market research, definitely reach out. This is something that we are very big on in my program. Okay, now what would I sell her? I would sell her something personalized for herself that supports her career. Outside of her children, this is one of her biggest passions, and this is where she really invests her time and money and resources. And because she's career focused, she's already proven that she's willing to invest time and money into this area of her life. So it's proof of concept. So I would sell her something that she can use for work, something that fits into that work expense category for herself. Because it is a work-related expense, it's tied into that mindset of something that helps her make money, and it's an easier purchase decision. So I would sell her things like custom leather engraved work totes, maybe laptop sleeves, or work travel related items. So I searched on eRank leather bag, and we're going to scroll down and see where the balance of searches and competition on Etsy would be in our favor. So I found leather laptop bag. That looks like a great opportunity. So that is verifying my idea here. And now we are going to search leather laptop bag on Etsy, and we're going to see how the competition looks. So we are going to look at, okay, a lot of these are masculine. I don't see a lot of customized options. So it looks like the sizes are all the same. The colors are very similar. They're pretty masculine, and there's not really any personalization options here. So how would I launch this product? I would buy a small batch of inventory to test, and I would offer this item in 2 ways. So I would offer the bag by itself, not customized, but with something attached to it that I can simply add on, like a scarf or a keychain or a bag charm or a special strap of some sort. And I'd give them a couple of options for colors of that thing that they can add on. And then I would offer a customization option. And this would be a made to order item where they could add their company logo or their business name, or maybe just their own name, or maybe a special mission statement or a quote or something that's meaningful to them. And I would sell my first 10 to 20 units of this item at cost, where I am covering the Etsy fees and covering my costs, but I'm not making a profit. And I would do that to get this listing on the path to becoming a market leader. So after launching this first listing, I would build out my product mix with the 7 types of products that I recommend having in your shop. For example, one of those items being a loss leader. And I would perfect my production process on these things, and then I would outsource once I've already got things rolling and all the bumps smoothed out. So this is an example of a new shop that I would launch this year, and that is the process I would go through. If you are launching a new shop and you need help, you are wondering if your idea is good or bad, or maybe you're curious, what is that 10-step opportunity checklist she was talking about? Definitely reach out. I would love to chat with you more. If you liked this video, please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next video.